What's up, everybody? I hope you're still doing well. I hope you are all getting outside, enjoying a little bit of freedom that we have, but also staying safe. I miss you guys. Speaking of that, very soon we're going to have things that I have planned for us to come back and meet in person. For now, we're still not going to meet on Sundays in person, but I want us to do things during the week and on the weekend sometime just to have fun. I'm also going to have Bible studies early in the week, but I'm going to send all of that to you guys very soon on the GroupMe and on Instagram, just to kind of let you know what I have planned, what we're going to do. Have some movie nights, some game nights, maybe even go to an escape room, paintball. But I'm going to send all of that out pretty soon, and also to your parents so they know what's going on. Another thing before we get into the lesson is that I'm sure all of you have heard or saw the tragedy of George Floyd's death, murder. I just want you guys to know that if you ever need to talk about anything, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. I'm always available to talk. You guys have my number. If not, I put it in the GroupMe a million times. Just reach out. Love you guys. I'm praying for you. But now, we can go ahead and get right into our lesson. Alright, so I have a question for you guys. How many of you overuse emojis or GIFs, or GIF, however you pronounce it, GIF, whatever you do. But how many of you overuse those when you text? If I'm being honest, I do. If you text me ever at all, at some point or another, I probably used an emoji for sure. And if you send me something kind of juicy or exciting, I'll definitely send a GIF. I think they were created for me to use personally. So if you guys never use them, I do enough for all of you. My favorite ones is when I hear some exciting news. Chris Pratt from that played Andy in Parks and Rec. I am so sorry. I'm so disrespectful. Parks and Rec, probably top 5 shows ever. Way better than The Office. The Office is trash. Don't at me. Anyway, the GIF of Andy when he's like at his desk, probably top 5 best GIFs of all time. Don't at me at that either. But I overuse them a lot, especially when something kind of crazy or exciting happens. I use GIFs a lot. Emojis, probably my favorite one is the crying laughing emoji. I laugh a lot. Also, the one with the tears. When something's really funny, I bring that bad boy out because I just want to know, not only am I like crying laughing, I am like crying laughing. I usually send them together, so kind of people know the context. And that's actually a great way for us to communicate over text. We add these emojis and GIFs in to kind of help whoever texts understand what we're feeling, because sometimes our text can be really dry. But sometimes I use GIFs when I'm like just shocked or speechless. When I really don't have the words to say, when something just kind of catches me off guard, I'll use GIFs to kind of communicate. I don't really know what to say. I'm shocked. I am shooketh by what you told me. And sometimes we just have those moments in life. In life, there are things that kind of catch us off guard. We don't really know what's going on. We don't really understand how to react or know what to do. And I think for all of you, you had that moment this year with the coronavirus and kind of everything shutting down. You didn't get to finish your school year, especially for you seniors. Your senior year got cut short. You 8th graders, your middle school years got cut short. You go into different high schools. You may not ever see them again. You seniors, you miss prom. I know they're going to make it up, but it's just not the same because you didn't get to enjoy that the way it was originally planned. Some of you, it could be family things. Some of you, it could be stuff that happens between you and your friends. But we've kind of all had those situations in our life where something happened and we were kind of just shocked and we didn't know what to do. So we're going to continue to kind of look at the life of Joseph in this kind of theme of what to do when you don't know what to do. Because Joseph had a very interesting life. He's probably one of the most popular people in the Old Testament, but he also had a lot of family drama. His drama was kind of his fault. He played a role in a lot of it, but some of it was just bitterness and jealousy. as we talked about 3 weeks ago, Joseph was his dad's favorite, and his brothers did not like that. He made Joseph this special robe to kind of show everyone, hey, this is my favorite son right here, and there's nothing you can do about it. So Joseph's brothers kind of grew in their bitterness. They never really checked it. They never really addressed it. And we're going to kind of pick up on the story of how that ended up panning out. We're going to be in Genesis 37, starting in verse 18, and it says this. They, Joseph's brothers, saw him, Joseph, in the distance, and before he had reached them, they plotted to kill him. So that went from 0 to 100 real quick. All right, so they let this bitterness and this anger kind of build up inside of them to the point where they're like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to kill our own brother. Luckily for Joseph, one of his brothers, Reuben, was kind of like, maybe we shouldn't kill him. And we kind of pick up in verse 21, and we see that Reuben is like, no, that's not a good idea. It says, when Reuben heard this, he tried to save him from them. He said, let's not take his life. Reuben also said to them, don't shed blood. Throw him into this pit in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him, intending to rescue him from them and return him to his father. So Reuben had this idea of, like, instead of killing him, we're going to throw him in this pit. But Reuben was going to come back later, get Joseph, and bring him home. So Reuben had this grand idea planned. The brothers agreed, and everything was looking good for Joseph, outside of them wanting to originally kill him. So being thrown into a pit for a few hours, probably a lot better than dying. But before that could happen, Joseph's brothers saw a group of traders, and they end up deciding to sell Joseph into slavery. So they took his robe that his father made for him, and in verse 32 we see that they sent this robe to their father, and it said they sent the long sleeve robe to their father and said, we found this, examine it, is it your son's robe or not? So obviously they knew it was Joseph's robe. They knew it belonged to him because they took it from him, and they are the ones that traded their brother into slavery and kind of abandoned him because of their own bitterness, their own jealousy, and as a result of the actions of their dad. And I just want you to kind of try to put yourself in Joseph's shoes at this point and think about how you would feel if your own family would have abandoned you and traded you into slavery and kind of just left you to be wherever you are, and the emotions that he felt. I know if it was me, I would have been angry, I would have been bitter, I would have been hurt. And to be honest, even though I felt all those emotions, I wouldn't have known what to do. I would have been powerless, I would have been helpless, I would have been caught off guard just knowing that my brothers could do such a thing. And I think the thing that helped Joseph make it through it, we find in Genesis 39, verse 2, and it says this: the Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man serving in the household of his Egyptian master. So Joseph goes from being betrayed by his brothers, being betrayed by the people he knew best, to being a successful man because the Lord was with him. And I want us to focus in on that. The Lord was with Joseph. And I know sometimes we're in situations where we don't know what's going on. We don't know what to do. We don't really know how to maneuver through it. But we know that God is with us. And this may not change the situation that we're in, but it can change us. It can change our outlook on the situation. It can change the way that we process it. God is going to work it all out in the end. That may not look the way we think it looks. It may not look the way we want it to look. It may not even be bad. It may not even be good in this lifetime. But the thing is, God is with us. And that brings me to another 2 points. The first one is to be real. It is okay to feel the way that you feel in situations that hurt, that bring anger, that you don't know what to do with betrayal. I know for me, if I'm being transparent, earlier this week when I saw the video of George Floyd, I felt a lot of different emotions. I was hurt. I was angry. I was empty. I was emotionally exhausted. But while I was feeling all those emotions, I knew that God was with me. I may have been confused of why God would allow such a thing to happen, but I knew that He was with me. It hasn't changed the situation yet, but it has changed me as I work through it, as I process it, as I put myself in that situation. The other thing is this, is to remind yourself that God is with you. For me, it would have been really easy to forget all that God has done. It would have been really easy for me to forget that God was present and was with me. But at the end of the day, I knew that He was, even though it hurt. So as you go in your small groups, I just want you to think about that. Think about the tough situations you've been through in your life, the tough situations you could be going through right now, and you may not know what to do, and that is okay, because I know, and I want you to know, and I want you to understand that God is with you, that God is for you, and He will not abandon you, He will not forsake you, even in the midst of the toughest things. So I can't wait to see you guys. Like I said, I'm going to send that schedule out. But in your small groups, I just want you to discuss this. I want you to process this. And I want you to discuss what it looks like and what it means to know that God is with us in the moments in our lives that are the hardest. Love you guys. I'm praying for you every day. Can't wait to see you. Peace out.